What up, guys? It is Sam here, and I wanted to talk about my testosterone replacement therapy and why I do injections every day of the week. But before I do that, if this is your first time here, my name's Sam. What's up? If you're returning, it's good to freaking see you. To give a little bit of context before I get into that, I'm currently taking testosterone replacement therapy prescribed by a doctor. So nothing I'm talking about in this video is a recommendation or an endorsement for you to do something that you should not be doing, or doing something that's illegal. Go to your doctor and get testosterone with a prescription. Just the better way to do things. Having somebody else look over your shoulder to look at your blood work, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Now, I'm taking 200 to 250 milligrams of cypionate per week, in that range. And what I have is 500 milligrams per milliliter cypionate. So normally, you're going to, what, 500 I think it is? Yes. Normally, you're going to get like 200 with cypionate. 200 milligrams per milliliter. And because of the concentration, or because of the, I'm not sure what it's called, benzo something, I think it's the alcohol or something like that breaks down or you cut testosterone with when it's made. One of those two things, because it's such a high mg per ml concentration, and or what it's mixed with, doing 200 to 250 milligrams in one injection for me was a little bit too much pain. Like, I went to I went to Panama City, Panama, with my girlfriend a couple weeks ago. So the day before we're gonna leave, I pin in my tricep, or maybe the night before. I think it was the night before or something like that. I pinned in my tricep. Like one night here, then I'm here all this day, work the whole next day, and then I leave the following morning. So like 24 hours-ish before leaving. And my tricep was sore about 5 minutes after doing the injection. This is maybe my like fourth or fifth injection. Okay. By the time I get on the plane, my tricep is about an inch bigger than normal, and it's got swelling from my elbow up to my shoulder almost, and it's on top of my arm. It's just fucking massive. My tricep looks fucking gargantuan. It's so swollen. So by the time I go to bed on the first day of us leaving for vacation, my arm is so tender to say if the bed was behind me, to lay behind me and put my arm up like this. There was, because this is one way you can stretch your tricep. Just put it up like this and then bring your arm down. This is going to stretch because of the way it's attached in your shoulder. So putting my arm up like this in bed to try to like keep my thing elevated hurt so much. Or literally just trying to go up and so you take your shirt, right? You're going to take your shirt off and you pull up over your head. Like this, I couldn't do. This had so much pain. So that was when I already switched to twice per week. So I only pinned 125 milligrams in my tricep. Because before that, I had done my quads. And it was literally like that leg was like an inch to 2 inches larger in diameter, because that was a full 200 milligrams in one shot. My whole entire quad, up to near my hip, maybe 5 or 6 inches below my hip, down to my knee, was swollen like by 2 inches. Like it was like one of my short legs was super tight and the other one was a baggy. That's how bad it was. And it was so excruciatingly painful to just even touch. Like, with the injections like that, I just couldn't work out. It was difficult to, like, getting out of a chair when your tricep is like that is ridiculously stupid. Like, it's not something that should be that challenging or that distraction from what you're trying to do. And I was fucking exhausted every night. Like, I was getting the same amount of sleep as I would normally get, but because I was under so much pain all day long, by the time I got home after my workout, or I would try to work out, but sometimes like the actual exercises, like I couldn't do triceps clearly, like I couldn't do that, or like when I hit my legs, like trying to train legs was like stupid fucking retarded. You couldn't do any leg exercises because your leg hurt so bad. It was just stupid retarded. So I couldn't train whatever body part I did an injection in, which is just dumb. So and I did the 200 milligrams or 250 for the first like 4 injections. So it was like left quad, like left butt cheek, right butt cheek, and when I did my butt, like, it was, oh my god. To try to do anything, like getting in and out of a car, was just retardedly painful. So that's when I switched to the 125 milligrams. So I did 125 in this tricep. And it was pretty fucking bad. But it was like, okay, I'm kind of used to this. That was the first time I did 125 versus 250. So I went from, 250. So I just done 250 on one of my butt cheeks, and it was like really painful. Like to move out of a chair or sleep, like trying to sleep. Because it was, you'd move slightly and then it would be where you were, and now that would be in a different area. And it was just so much, like I woke up so many times throughout the night. Just from just the tiniest bit of movement, caused so much pain for me to wake up. So then when I switched to 125 on my left tricep, that was like, holy shit, this is way less painful than the last 4 injections I did. But it was still like very painful and sore for days and days. So then when I did this one, and then for some reason the traveling or whatever, I think I also maybe jerked it around a little bit too much. My finger slipped on it. So I had the inflammation from not pinning very well to also being allergic to how it's mixed. Because I have a friend who is also using tasibinate, the same milligram per milliliter, and he has no issues from the same doctor and everything. So that was kind of interesting that I'm allergic to it. And that was, so after that, I decided to switch to like stop almost. So I stopped for almost like 5 or 6 days. I was like, this is just dumb. Like, this is just fucking stupid. What am I doing to myself? Like, I can't fucking function. So I stopped for like maybe 5 or 6 days or something. And then I decided that I was like, okay, let's try something small. Like, what if I'm getting another prescription, but that's going to take probably another week and a half for it to come in. So I'm like, what if I just do like 10 or like just over 10, which would be, what was it, half of, so basically 50 milligrams. What if I was like, what if I did 50 or 60 milligrams? Like, would it be like, could I handle that amount of pain? Or because like 125 was just like, it's just as stupid as like 250. It was just like way too painful to do anything. Like sleeping with my arm, I'd move it a certain way and it would wake me up because it hurt. Like anytime I'd roll over, I'd completely wake up because of the pain. So I was like, I wonder if like 50 milligrams, right? Like, 60, right? Like half of 125, so 6250. I like, what if I cut the dose down like that and I just did that every 4 days or like every other day or whatever? So I did that, and I did my upper butt cheeks on both. I did that twice, and and it was still like pretty fucking painful. So then I decided to switch. Well, what if I took even less than like 62 and a half milligrams? So I cut it down to between the ticker symbol, the ticker on the needle of 6 and 8, so somewhere between there, which puts the milligrams per shot between right around 30 to 40 milligrams per shot, which is like a fucking tiny little minuscule amount of testosterone. However, if you do, because there's no like ticker for on the milligram per milliliter one that I use, the needle, when you draw out, if you get right on a line, then you know what you have, right? But sometimes if this is 6, right, and this is 8, and you want to hit 7, like right there in the middle, sometimes you're a little bit here, sometimes you're a little bit up high. So I would just say on average, just maybe around 35 or 40. I will say 40, right? 40 times 7 days a week puts me at the high end of what I think it could be, which would be 280 milligrams per week. But I know that's like the maximum, and I don't hit that because there's multiple days where you have the 2, the 6, and the 8, and I'll be like just above the 6, just because like the way that I happen to pull it out of the bottle, and then the way that I maybe like had 1 or 2 extra drips when I was pushing out the air, so that just like happens to be a smidge lower. So that would be on the high end is 280 per week, and it's literally daily. So the daily so far, I've kept all in exactly the same spot in my upper butt cheek, going back and forth. The pain is remarkably less. Like I don't even notice it now, which is incredible. But I still had to go at such a low amount. Like it's kind of, it is a little like tight still, but it's not stupid, retarded, painful. It's way, way, way better. Like I barely even notice this. That's how you know what I mean? Like if your chest was like tight from a chest workout, but it wasn't like, it would only be, you can only tell if it's sore if you're like stretching it basically, or like something's really digging into your chest. That's the same thing, like how it feels. So I think I'm going to do that for a couple more days, and then I'm going to try switching to rotating the injection site around. But so far, it's actually really not that bad. I'm using a 28 gauge, 5/8 inch needle, and it's really not that bad because the amount of liquid you're like pinning is like fucking minuscule because it's such a high mg per ml. So if you think like, sometimes if you do an injection, you push it in there, you can like feel the liquid going inside. But because it's such like a tiny little amount, you don't even really notice. You don't even really notice it at that point. So yeah. Anyways, that's the story of why I'm taking injections every single day. If you found this helpful or interesting or funny or stupid, share it with somebody else that might appreciate it, that you know. It would support the channel, and hopefully they would like the content. And if you want to support the channel in another way, just press that thumbs up button. It tells YouTube to share this video with other people who might find it interesting. So appreciate it. Peace.